Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I posted a new video and I thought today was a perfect day to walk around my garden and show you what it's looking like. I think today is the 10th of December. It's almost Christmas and yeah, I thought I would give you a little tour of my garden. I wanted to start off by showing you this beautiful Christmas planter that I made with some beautiful evergreens and some of my decorations that I have had over the years. I have this beautiful curly willow in it, which I saved from last year, and it's looking beautiful. Like, it's just a simple planter. I think anyone can create something like this with just a few evergreens, either from your garden or you can buy them. Like, I don't have these evergreens in my garden, so I did buy a few of these from the Toronto Botanical Garden, but you can buy them at box stores, grocery stores, and you know, if you have them in your garden, even perfect. So I just created these two beautiful planters, as you can see, just flanking my front door, and I really feel happy every time I look at them because they bring me a lot of joy at this time of the year. So I love doing these, and I'm excited to enjoy them over the winter months, and I will then in spring plant something fun and floral in early spring around Easter. So that's the plan. But I wanted to show you what the garden was looking like today. I do have a few decorations here and there along with some of my garden things tucked in here, and it's just feeling a lot like Christmas right now, and I'm just loving these little small touches in the garden. Nothing elaborate, but I just want to show you a few simple planters that I did. This is a beautiful one which has a blue point juniper in it. These have been in these pots for now, I think 3 years. So they just have these beautiful large pine cones in them. I have my little elf in there, and I have these beautiful wood signs which, you know, just add a little drama to this one. So I love that about it. So that's what the Christmas decor on my porch is looking like. And I also have this beautiful little planter here, which is also a live planter. It is a blue point Pacific juniper, which is in its pot, and I kind of wanted to buy something that was living that I could plant in my garden next year. So it's happy here. I added a few decorations on top here, which I think look really pretty, and I'm hoping to maybe plant this permanently in this pot and let it cascade over, maybe elevate the pot a little bit so it can just cascade over. Not sure, which is why it is in its original pot, and it's looking really pretty. So weather-wise, a lot has happened in this garden. We've had our first snowstorm, and it's come and gone. It's melted. A lot of the plants obviously succumbed to it, and now the last couple of days have been mild again, so the temperature has fluctuated a lot. So plants are looking okay. They're looking green. As you can see, like, the landscape is pretty somber right now, but it still has color. It still has some beautiful colors. The fall colors have faded, and right now it's more those browns and those deep colors, which, you know, which look really nice at this time of the year too. They've dried, the flowers have dried. Look at these hydrangeas. This is the quick fire fab. It's looking beautiful in its form. Also the roses, the last blooming roses have just kind of frozen in time. I love this look because it has this really like cool, almost like a, you know, like an enchanted look to it. So I just love that. And look at the baptisia in the back. It's almost turned like a chocolate brown, and it's looking absolutely stunning. I love it, especially with the morning light miscanthus in the back. I think those have turned a really nice yellow color, almost like an orange hue to it as well. And then This planter here, I did add a pot of holly in there. So this is a Jack and Jill holly. I recently just found it at a local Canadian Tire, and I was initially going to decorate this pot, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to put a live plant in here, and I will eventually even pot it in this pot because it's nice to have a nice evergreen here which I can just keep in this pot for a few years. So that's what I'm going to try in that pot, and then I can just add in a few annuals every year, and it's going to be a nice focal point. So that's the plan with that planter for now. But look at the colors in the garden. They are really subtle, but they are also very pretty. And as you can see, I don't clean up much in the fall, although I did cut back a few things, but a lot of things are still standing. There's a lot of leaf litter which I leave for the overwintering insects, and I haven't really done much in that aspect. The Joe Pye weed there is also looking interesting with its seed heads, and the Northwind panicum is also looking pretty nice with its straw-like color. The miscanthus in the back, that is a little zebra, is kind of flopping all over, but I don't mind it. It is adding a little bit of interest there, and I will cut it back in early spring, late winter, so that is fine. But the garden overall is looking really good. The boulevard is looking really nice too. And those are all the twigs that Ollie collects, and I've kind of put them in a pile there, and the birds love to perch on it. So I like doing that. And then right here, what I've also done is I've added another evergreen. In this area here. If you remember from my previous videos, I had a bird bath here which I put away for the winter, and this pot was lying around in my backyard, so I just brought it over here and I've put in a pot of Hills Yew in here. I think I'm really loving how it's looking in this pot. So in spring, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to plant it in this pot and move the pot around where I want it to be, and then in the winter I will bring it in this spot because I'm really loving how it's kind of adding a little bit of structure and color and just a bit of grounding to this spot, which I'm enjoying quite a bit. So this part of the garden is looking really bare now. I cut back a lot of the echinacea and other perennials here because it gets a lot of snow pressure, so it gets shoveled and piled on here. So I kind of wanted to make way for that. But if you look, there are peonies poking through already, which is exciting, but I think it's still quite early, but I've never seen them poke through this early. But they are poking through. A lot of the iris is also kind of poking through. I do have Dutch iris in there, which is starting to grow its foliage, which is interesting. And this part here is just a mess, but I love it. I love all of this at this time of the year. The garden is looking, I think it's still looking really nice for early December, and lots of plants are still holding their own, and they are still looking green. I mean, the phenomenal lavender is evergreen, and it looks good throughout the year, and I just love the structure that it adds in the front of this garden, and I just absolutely love it. So it's still looking good. Lots of green leaves and ground covers are still evergreen. The Angelina sedum is still evergreen. It remains evergreen. I do have heucheras that don't lose their leaves as well unless we get really extreme cold. And some of the geum and geranium are still green, which is surprising to me. And some of them are still showing flower buds. Isn't that cute? That is exciting. So it's very exciting to see the plants are still holding on even after a snowstorm. The ground is still pretty warm, which is interesting. Even the catmint that I planted is looking like fresh. I don't know. I think it's interesting to me. I've never seen this kind of warmth in the soil. Like even after a cold, it's turned out to be pretty warm again. There is still blooms on my Lithodora. It's still putting out a few blooms, which is very interesting. And I love how the echinacea bloom still looks fresh over there. So yeah, I mean, it is exciting, interesting. Let's go see what the side yard is looking like. Let me walk over and show you what the side yard is looking like. Here's another view of the morning light miscanthus. Isn't that gorgeous? Just love how it glows. It glows at any time of the year. It glows when it's green, when it first comes up, and it glows now. And it's just a beautiful grass. Gorgeous. So let's walk in here and show you the side yard. I mean, the side yard is a soggy mess, but it's still very green. Haven't cut back anything pretty much here. Everything is pretty much intact. Those are the Graham Thomas roses. They are also frozen, kind of in their last bloom state, but it's beautiful. The lavender is looking like a hot mess, but I will trim it back in spring, not right now. This part of the garden, I don't really, I wouldn't say I don't really care too much. I don't really care for it to be super neat because it's a side yard garden and it's something I enjoy in the spring and summer more, and fall. So this time of the year, I don't really have much here that I do. So I let it just be a little wild and do its thing. And then this is the part of the garden that brings me joy in the spring, to kind of come in here and clean it up and see what's poking through in terms of bulbs and just enjoy that. This is another morning light. Isn't that beautiful? It's just like a little ball of fire. I love how it looks. This is my Royal Raindrops crabapple. It's supposed to have persistent crabs, and it only has a little bunch remaining. This tree is yet to mature, so when it's bigger and mature, imagine all these little red berries on it all over. It's going to look so pretty in the winter months. I can't wait for that tree to mature. And the other tree I can't wait for it to mature is this beautiful coral bark maple. So this is a sangukaku. Look at the color of its bark. It's already turned a fiery coral color, and I was just envisioning this from my kitchen window, that when it grows up, it's going to look phenomenal. I can see it then from my kitchen once it kind of goes over this fence a little bit. It's gonna be beautiful. So the backyard is covered in leaves. It's very serene right now. It's kind of like everything is trying to sleep, but it's also green, and it's nice to kind of walk around here and see the hellebores like just poking through. And what's exciting is I did in the fall add some new trees in this area. I don't think I shared with any of you the new trees that I added in this back garden, because I bought them when they were dormant. They were on clearance and I just added them. And the thing about dormant trees is, like, sometimes you don't know how they're gonna perform in the spring. So I'm almost afraid to kind of say, oh my God, I have this beautiful tree, and then come spring, it's, you know, it doesn't wake up or something happens to it. But, you know, I think these look promising. So this is a full moon Japanese maple. It's a pretty nice sized tree, and I planted it in this spot here. So I think that pop of yellow chartreuse color will look really pretty here. So Orium full moon Japanese maple has a beautiful chartreuse green, lemon yellow leaf, and then it has a beautiful fall color, which is like an orange, red, yellow, that type of color tone. So I'm excited to have this tree in my garden. And the other tree that I planted was another Japanese maple, which was also a really good deal and a good size. As you can see, it's pretty tall. So this one is a butterfly Japanese maple. So this is a variegated Japanese maple, has a pretty white and bluish green leaf, like a sage green leaf, and it has some pink new growth when it first emerges. Almost like I had to cough a little bit there, but it almost has the, you know, the dappled willow colors, but in a Japanese maple form. That's the closest I can describe it as. And it has a beautiful bright presence in the garden. So the variegated leaves and the colors on those leaves can look really, really pretty. So I'm excited to see how this one leaves out when it's ready. I am just thrilled to have this in the garden as well. And then what I also planted was a beautiful weeping Norway spruce in this spot here. So I think this is going to be a really nice specimen in this part of the garden. It's going to look really nice, and I can train it however I want it to go. So this can be trained up, and then it's just going to weep down. It's just a beautiful, beautiful specimen, and I just love how this is looking in this spot. I hope it makes it. I hope it likes this spot, and we'll see how it does next year. So lots of exciting new little trees to kind of see how they're going to do in this back garden here. So what else is happening? I mean, I think the Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia is still looking pretty colorful and nice, and the Hakanakloa grasses are also looking really nice in their color. And then I also have this Lamium White Nancy, which is also kind of evergreen, and it's adding this pop of color. There's a lot of ground covers that are still evergreen, and they haven't died back fully to the ground. As you can see, the black mondo grass is still looking good, although there is a lot of leaf cover now on it. You can see it's forming its little berries here. So, and then ferns too, like the tassel fern there is still evergreen as well. And I do also have a Dryopteris, which is also looking, this is Autumn Brilliance, which is also still looking pretty nice, and it's green. So lots of plants are still looking good. Virginia leaves are turning a really nice burgundy color, and this stays evergreen too in the garden. So I'm excited to see how that does. Oh, here is another tree that I planted. This is a purple fountain beech. Very small specimen, grows really slowly, but it also has a beautiful weeping format. So I'm curious to see how that one is going to do in my garden as well. What else is happening here? I mean, the backyard garden is really looking like it's clothed with this heavy blanket, and it's trying to sleep, but it's also awake at the same time. So I think, you know, it's lovely to see all this color and all this you know, explosion of colors that, you know, you can tell there are the plants that will wake up first and bloom for you are already like alive, you know. Look at these epimediums. I mean, they are beautiful. The color on this is really outstanding. This one here gets a beautiful orange bloom. I love it. I have to find some more next spring and add them here as well in my shade garden. I just love how they look. Excited for the hellebores as well to start blooming as well. The leaves are looking really nice. I love leaving the leaves. They're evergreen, and they look really nice in the garden. Not much else happening this side of the garden. As you can see, there isn't too much evergreen interest here, this particular section of the garden. I do have a boxwood there that I planted. I transplanted it from another spot, so we'll keep an eye on that. I mean, I'm not sure how it's going to do next year, if it's going to get affected by the caterpillars, but we'll see. This part of the garden is a little bit of a hot mess, but that's okay. I still have rosemary, which is still going strong. I thought about potting this and bringing it inside, but I don't know how long it's going to survive inside. It's still alive here, and I will use it over the Christmas months for baking and other things. So I'm letting it live here. I don't think it's going to survive the entire winter because we will get very cold and it won't survive that. But I do have a little bit of Swiss chard still there. I still have parsley. It's looking a little limp, but I can just take this whole clump and take it indoors now. So I was gonna come and harvest the last bit of veggies in here. But other than that, I mean, the garden is like really gone to sleep for most part, but it's still looking good. It's still looking good in its dormant stage. It's got a lot of seed heads, lots of interest everywhere, lots of leaves everywhere, and it's looking really, really good still. So I am very excited to see how this changes in the spring and what's to come. I don't know about you, but I've been dreaming about the garden waking up and what it's going to do and look like, because as you know, this year I got rid of all of my grass in the backyard, and I'm excited to see what this new look is going to be in the spring and how it's going to all tie together, because I was doing a lot this year, and next year I'm going to observe more and see what it's doing and how it comes back, and how all of this fits together like a puzzle, and what it's going to feel like. So that's it, my friends. I thought I would take you along. It's been a while since I posted a video, and I just wanted to, say hello, and I hope everyone is getting ready for the holidays and enjoying their time prepping and planning for it. I'm very excited for the holidays to get some downtime and just relax at home. So that's my plan, and I thought I would take you for a little walk in my garden and show you what's happening. So thank you so much. If you're joining me for the first time, my name is Preeti, and I garden in Toronto in zone 6. Sometimes it can be a zone 5, but in the last few years I would say it's been a zone 6 pretty much. And I mean, I love sharing my garden with you, so stay with me, and I will share updates as my plants start to wake up, and if I see anything interesting over the winter months, I will post a new video. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll catch you very soon in another video. Bye for now.